What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Funko 411. On today's episode, we're going to be doing a video on Thrilljoy. We're going to be taking a look at the Pix line. I've got the Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger. Kind of do like a first impression video. I haven't seen one of these in person yet. You know, I've seen pictures online. I've seen other people open them. But I guess before we even rip into it, I do have some thoughts just on this part without even, getting into the box. But, the presentation of having it in this box, getting delivered in this box, isn't the greatest. And when you open it and you reveal whether you got the common or the chase, the kind of like the experience factor of like opening it out of this box kind of takes away from the fun a little bit, because you open it and you immediately kind of see what it is. I would prefer if they had it in like, well, you'll see when we get into it, but I'm pretty sure it's in like a clear plastic wrap inside of here. I would prefer if they had it in like a black plastic wrap inside, and then they just shipped it in a box similar to this. That way, when you get into it, you're not immediately seeing exactly what you got. But let's go ahead. We'll rip into these edges here. I know a lot of people I've seen like struggling with opening up these corners. It's very much the same way that they've done like the Project Fred boxing, or when they ship those, when Funko's done that, I should say. But it is very secure. I did notice something though when I picked up this box. If you listen, I hear, and you might have heard it just now, but there is something that is shaking around inside the box. So I'm not sure what that is. I hope nothing is broken. It did kind of make me wonder if Thrilljoy did like any testing to see like how these would handle shipping. Like, did they ship one from one side of the country to the other? But see, as you can see, like, it's a struggle to get into these boxes, so it kind of makes it like, I don't know, it kind of takes away a little bit from the excitement of finding out whether you got the chase or the common, a little bit. But get in there, and then of course right at the top there, I'll spin it around, you can see we've got Nightmare on Elm Street, and then let's see which side. Okay, so this side is going to be where we want to look to see which one we got. Ready? I'll do it this way. 1, 2, 3. And, oh wow, we got the chase. Look at that. Check that out. We did get the chase. That's awesome. That's really cool. But like I said, kind of taking it out of that box, I don't know. I think there's a cooler way that they could do the packaging. Maybe it's something to do with just like if they could somehow get like a black wrapper instead of a clear wrapper. That would be ideal. And then see, even now, look at that. I just cut that on accident just a little bit there. But let's take a look at the figure. I didn't realize I was going to do that. I'm kind of mad at myself for cutting that. Okay, so there is the figure, and then right at the bottom here, you open it up, and I had a feeling this is what was going to be loose in there, is the card, because I heard this rattling around. So this was what was moving around. This must have came loose while in shipping, but right there down at the bottom, you can see it says Chase, Freddy Krueger, 1984, Mariotti, and then I've seen people show off that these do come unlocked, so you can actually pull the card out if you want. I'm not going to actually pull it out, but that is very nifty, cool little feature. Kind of gives you some authenticity to the figure. I like that a lot. I'll tell you right off the bat, one of the complaints I've seen a lot of people mentioning is just the size of these things. The box itself is very big. I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of people who are going to display them on a shelf like this. I feel like more people are going to take them out of here and then display them like this. And for that reason, I really feel like this box design needs to change. Like, I almost think what they should do is they should take this card and put it like this, maybe design the box so that the card could go underneath, because you're not really even displaying the card. Once you shut it, you're not even seeing it. It's kind of just there. I feel like that would kind of shrink this box down a little bit if they could do it that way. But really, a lot of the bulk of the box comes from this here, which is kind of like the rounded edge of the box so that you can hang this on the wall or you can stack them up, and the quality is very nice. The one thing I will say, I can tell like right here, this is the backing of where it says Springwood Diner, kind of like that whole background. So this actually has, like, if you push on it, you could definitely do some damage to that if you're not careful. But very cool figure. I really like the way they did the frame. I hope that when they keep doing these, that they'll do some sort of consistency with how they design these frames and how they design them with each line, so that you can kind of stack them together in a way that like looks nice if you're, you know, keeping like a complete horror collection, or if they do more from Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm actually more pleasantly surprised seeing it here in person than when I, you know, saw other people opening it. I am noticing right now too, look at that. So during shipping, this got completely smashed. So I don't know. I mean, it's just the insert. And honestly, a way that they could avoid this cracking is if they made the insert go all the way across. And I think that would also help with the card falling out, because if you look at it, it tilts this way because it doesn't have the backing on this side of the case. So I think that's kind of why maybe this crack happened, or obviously maybe there could have been like a big push there, but also like this. See how that happens? If there was plastic back here, that would keep it from shifting around and maybe also keep the card from popping out. You know, I'm giving kind of like extra information about what I think about it in case, Thrilljoy, if you're watching, you know, I think these are actually some good tips to think about. But I do love the figure. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the price though, because I know a lot of people were kind of concerned with the price. $50, and then it was $15 for shipping. I have seen that they've done some deals on shipping if you buy more items and things like that, which is great. I don't know that they can really get the price down much lower than $50 for something like this, given the packaging, the quality of the item itself. You know, maybe if they did some of the things I was talking about kind of like resizing this box a little bit or doing something different with the packaging, but figure itself, you know, definitely worth it. If you look at the back, you know, you do have some plastics and things like that that do feel a little bit on the cheaper side compared to if you're looking at it straight on. If you're looking at it right from the front, it does look very high quality. The frame is really nice. But then, yeah, look at the back, you're like, oh, okay. And I kind of wish that they would do something to cover these up. They have these plastic pieces that protect this backing, but then you can very easily push a thumb through that or push a thumb through that, and then that would ruin the kind of the back image there that you're seeing. But that's my thoughts on that. Grabbed a few Funko products to kind of give you a size comparison in case you're curious about it, but it is definitely bigger than a Pop if you look at it like that. So there's the Pop comparison. And then a product that a lot of people were comparing this to are these little 5-star figures that Funko made a few years ago. It was kind of like a line that, you know, didn't last very long. They made, you know, a few dozen of these and then they stopped the line. But there are some definite similarities to the 5-star line if you look at kind of the styling of the figure. But again, the 5 stars are much, much, much smaller. I mean, the Pix is definitely like at least twice as big as that. And then lastly, I just brought like a mini Freddy in here just to show you just kind of a size comparison. Obviously the mini Freddy is much different, but this will look really nice. And of course, a lot of people have talked about like this wax seal. It's not actually wax, it's kind of like a plastic, but you can see the Chase logo on there. So I'm really happy I got the Chase, because now I'm probably going to go back and get the common one. But let's take another look at the box itself. I'll be honest, when I first saw the logo of Pix, I know this is not like a major thing, but I really hate the font choice of Pix, and then also the pop culture immortalized. Some of this stuff, like I feel like they obviously took a lot of time in designing some of these features and the way the box would look. But I don't know, this in particular came across a little like a lazy font choice to me. I wish they would have done something a little cooler. Like I think they could have just used their Thrilljoy design to show Pix right here. But I guess this fell out again. See, something, is it like as soon as as soon as you move that, the little card falls out. So I don't know, again, maybe something in the design there a little bit, but there's the box. I like that they have the little Freddy down there, pop culture, immortalized, got some nice little embossed like stars and things around it. I mean, quality of the box is really nice. And then, you know, a lot of people have already talked about like the bottom has like this magnetic piece right here that just snaps right on, which is pretty cool. But overall, forget the box. If you just got the figure, this figure is really cool. I kind of wish that they would just do a simpler box that was almost the same size as this. Forget about that side of the box and put it in something that's just like a frame like that. That would look really nice in a nice, cool black box just like this one. But, you know, I've heard people talking about like what the next product's going to be with Thrilljoy, if they're going to do something else beyond just the Pix line. They have those Mega Pix figures, which are like the larger figures. But the thing that I think they should do, if they really want to appeal to kind of like an audience that has less space, you know, because these are going to take up a lot of space. They're, you know, you buy 2 or 3 of these, you're going to fill up your shelf, whereas you could have fit, you know, 6, 7, 8 Funko Pops. And, you know, they may not be strictly going after kind of the Funko crowd, but when you have Brian Mariotti, who's the former CEO of Funko, who developed the Pop line, you know, a lot of the fan base that follow into Thrilljoy are going to be Pop collectors. So this definitely, to me, doesn't fully cater to Pop collectors. What I think they should do is kind of take this size and narrow it down to like about this size and have like a tall, narrow figure, not like a pop box. A pop box would probably be like this, but have a tall, narrow figure, almost like a soda, except a little bit taller, and then kind of take that background and curve it in just a little tighter. That would be really cool if they could have something about that size, because then you could have almost like a wobbler size box. If you had something like that, because then you could really line these up, have a better display ability and not be so tight on space. Because, you know, like I said, if you buy a few of these, actually, if you just bought every one that they released so far, you'd be out of space already. If you have just you know, a small room or something that you're trying to display these in, you'd be done if you just got every one that they've released so far. So they got to plan ahead for that. People aren't going to keep buying these and have infinite amount of space. But I really like the figure. I am curious what all of you think about Thrilljoy, think about Pix. Did you grab any of these? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want me to do more Thrilljoy stuff in the future, let me know in the comments too. Hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.